Fox News Alert are going to break in with breaking news. We have learned via the New York Times reporting, so this is their reporting, that the president's former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, recorded Donald Trump talking about payment to former Playboy model Karen McDougal. This was about 2 months before the presidential election, in which they had discussed these payments to a former Playboy model that I just mentioned, and apparently other women, according to the New York Times reporting. Now, the president's current personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, is already on the record having said that those conversations did in fact happen and that there are recordings of the president discussing the payments with Cohen. However, there were no payments that were actually made that they had talked about. By the way, the FBI seized the recording this year during a raid on Michael Cohen's office. Remember, they went to several locations in those raids, and one of them was his office. The Justice Department says it is investigating Michael Cohen's involvement in paying women to tamp down stories that were negative about the president pre the election. Yes.
Yeah, I just want to bring out one piece from, and again, as we say, this is the New York Times reporting.
Absolutely.
They are quoting Mr. Giuliani saying nothing in that conversation suggests that he had any knowledge of it in advance, meaning the payment. Giuliani said, adding that Mr. Trump had directed Mr. Cohen that if he were to make a payment related to the woman to write a check rather than sending cash so that it could be properly documented. This is supposedly in the conversation. Again, we haven't heard this. This is New York Times reporting. Go ahead.
Mr. Cohen's attorneys have discovered that the recording was part of their review of the seized materials and shared it with the president's lawyers, according to 3 people who were briefed on the matter. Chris, you know, this has been kind of out there and talked about because you had people like the attorney for Stormy Daniels, Avenatti, saying that there might be a recording. Yeah, I mean, you've got people kind of. Candidate. Well, you've got people. Is that what he's saying now?
Yes.
The people on the periphery, the edges of this reporting, obviously saying some different things. But now this evidence, and Giuliani says yes, the discussions on tape happened, but payments to multiple women apparently no. And then you add in what Melissa just said.
I don't think that there's any real question that the president in his past life as a businessman in New York went to great lengths to keep his life private and to keep things quiet, especially later on. My wonder, the big problem for him is going to be, was this anything to do with election funds? That would be major. I don't think, it doesn't seem like it is. We don't have any evidence so far that it is. And the second question, which could be more major, is did he know this recording was made by his personal attorney and stored in his office before the FBI seized it? And if he did know that at the time that it was made, how many more of these personal conversations between a client and his lawyer were recorded that could come out? Has Michael Cohen been recording the president the whole time?